Hey, what's up, Cam?
Um, Not a whole lot, Mitch. How are you?
Doing well. We were talking. You are in a different room now that's dogless.
Yes, I just want everyone to appreciate the lack of dog bark.
You know,
It's wonderful.
I bleeped you last time.
You bleeped me?
Mm-hmm.
Did I say a bad word?
Yeah, you might have used the Lord's name in vain.
Oh, okay.
I was being gracious and bleeped you. So, I suppose if I was really being gracious, I would have cut that out of the program, but it was too funny. So now I have the noisy pet over here. And she is noisy, let me tell you. All right, now that I'm resituated and got her going somewhere, hopefully she gets out the door. Hold on. It's making for great radio. Can you get out, Boo? I'm sure if she wants out, she'll squeeze out the crack I left her in the door, so. All right, man. Well, the weather. It's on my lock screen now. Oh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about betas in a little bit. Wow, this is like the weirdest start to a show we've ever had. How you doing, man?
Well, you want to make it even weirder?
What's that?
The World Health Organization has declared monkeypox to be a global health emergency, with cases already in dozens of countries.
Mm.
Many experts had urged faster action.
Yeah.
All right. So, because one global health emergency isn't enough, let's throw in monkeypox.
Yeah. It just sounds funny. I just imagine.
I had chicken pox as a kid.
Yeah.
I wonder what the difference is. Maybe this one, instead of all the dots, you just get really hairy.
I was wondering if they just all concentrate around the armpits, so you're always scratching.
You have the strong desire to throw your poo.
We shouldn't joke because apparently it's a
I
thing,
know,
but it's funny anyway.
But it's a funny name, monkeypox.
Yep.
I honestly don't know anything about it. I just got the New York Times alert on my phone. So
yeah.
This just in.
All I know about it is that when it started, it was it's supposed to only be sexually transmitted, which I don't know if that's changed, apparently, but because to me it would be pretty easy to control that. But
people be freaky, Mitch. People be freaky.
Well, I guess they said that about AIDS years ago too. So I tell you. But hey, you'll be surprised and possibly delighted to know that I've spent this last week learning Notion. So,
okay.
Yeah. So
why?
I've been putzing at like building little wikis and I'm actually exploring right now the idea because I'm allowing my Squarespace site, my personal site, to expire. Because I don't really use it that much. And
Mitch Gregg will not be .online anymore.
Oh no, I've redirected that to something else. But
okay.
But it's just not something I was using a whole lot of, and for me right now, it's just not terribly useful, and it's just kind of a waste of money for me. So I decided to shutter that site. It's still available online right now, but it expires the end of August. So I just didn't want to put another $100 into it for the year. It's just a place where I could save a little money. So got rid of that. Right now, MitchCraig.online redirects to my about.me page. You remember those?
Oh gosh, no, but I'm about to look.
Yeah. So the about.me was a way to basically build a fancy business card for the internet is kind of how I would refer to it as. So you could have a little picture, your name, a little, short bio. Now you can like write little paragraphs and almost design a page. It's basically just like a one-page website that you can design on about.me. So,
Mm-hmm.
so if you go to mitchcraig.online, it should redirect to just a short little thing about me. Yeah. And the visit my website, apparently that's not customizable as far as what it says on the button. So, but that goes to innerdialogue.show. So,
And we've come full circle.
yep. But what I'm working on in Notion right now is the possibility of being able to put together a little like one-page website where I can put all the social media stuff on it and all that, and just throw that up as my website,
Mm-hmm.
and redirect mitchcraig.online to that Notion page. So I'm looking at the possibilities of doing that right now. So
How far down the Notion rabbit hole have you gone?
I've been playing with like the different blocks that you can put on the pages, and I started. Well, I've done like a reading list, and I'm planning for a vacation that we're taking in September on there, and it's been a lot of kind of like trial and error trying to learn how to use the blocks and use databases and stuff like that. So how far down the rabbit hole I've gone, I don't know how deep it is. So,
Oh, my friend, it
but
is deep.
I've been playing with some stuff and kind of learning how to use it.
You should look on YouTube. Thomas Frank and August Bradley. They are like, what's the word I want to say here? Prolific with their use of Notion. And they've got a couple. I know for sure you can get a couple templates from Thomas for free if you want to really unleash the power. Because I went down that rabbit hole hard for like 2 months, and then I realized it was just so overly, like, it was unnecessarily complex for what I wanted to use it for.
Yeah.
But the stuff that you can do with it is pretty nuts. And then another one would be Marie Poulin. She is all French Canadian.
Yeah.
But she knows her stuff too. She's very good. So, anyways, I was just curious. Yeah, if you had started like drinking from the fire hose that is Notion YouTube channels, it's a lot.
Yeah, not yet. I've been trying to get used to how everything works and like the limitations that are there, as well as how you can build different elements. This morning, I managed to put the fireside player with our podcast in it. I managed to embed that on a page. And
nice.
And so now I was trying to figure out, can I embed my Twitter feed and my Instagram feed on there, and are there tools to be able to put those on that page so that if somebody goes to this page, not only do you don't just get a link, you actually can see, my most recent posts and stuff like that. Which, speaking of which, I have re-downloaded the Instagram app. So in preparation for the vacation here in September, I wanted to have a place to throw pictures up and share some stuff. So I also re-downloaded Flickr, which I haven't messed with Flickr in forever.
I didn't realize that was still
it's still out
operational.
There, man. Yep. What's nice about it is that it because it's not that popular anymore, it is basically pro photographers that are on there now. So a lot of what you're getting is really good stuff. So not just like pictures of food. So, but
yeah. I haven't even thought about Flickr in probably like 8 years.
I hadn't either. And then Andy Anatko was talking on MacBreak Weekly, and he's still pretty.
Of course he was.
He uses Flickr a lot, and so he
that is so on brand for him.
Oh, it is definitely. But
I
so
like it.
I thought, well, I should check that out because I do want to try and take some better pictures. And when we get into our delighting me section today, what I plan on talking about, I don't know if you know that this thing exists, but I'm really excited about getting this out and playing with it. So, but we'll talk about that later. But that's all related to this. So for taking lots of pictures and having fun. So
Well, you know me. I love talking about taking pictures.
yeah,
Speaking of which,
yeah,
did I ever tell you that I shoot freelance for the newspaper here now?
I did not know that.
Yeah. So I have, which means I'm essentially going to be Spider-Man soon. I think that's what
Yeah.
that means. Um, um, but tonight
I do not
I'm
want
going.
pictures of you in that suit, by the way.
Yeah, no, I'd be more of a casual dad Spider-Man. I'm not gonna walk around in this spandex bodysuit.
Good.
Just walking down the street like catwalking. You can tell by the way I walk.
Yep.
Anyways,
There's
oh my gosh, that visual is.
There's definitely theme
gosh.
music involved here.
So good. Anyways,
Yep.
Tonight there is a like hot air balloon festival in a city like 30 minutes north here, and I get to go shoot that for the paper, and I'm excited.
Cool.
Because hot air balloons are just neat.
So do they pay you by picture that they use? Is that how that works?
They pay me by event, and different types of events have different requirements as far as number of photos, types of photos,
Okay.
And then there's different pay rates.
Right on. Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious about that because I know that sometimes with freelance work like that, if they use a picture, then they pay you for it. But
yeah, and so like they'll say like, hey, we need you to cover this event. Can you do it? Great. And then here's the price. Here's I have to get 4 photos tonight.
Yeah,
I'm going to deliver a lot more than 4, and they'll just pick the 4 that they like the best. But then I just invoice them, and then they pay me. And then the next time, like next weekend, there's a huge music fest in town that I'm very excited about because she said I could shoot that. So it's fun. I like photography and videos and all that sort of stuff.
Very cool.
That's why I want the side hustle to be the real hustle.
Right. I feel you.
One day.
Yeah. That's why I'd love to be able to make money off a podcast, but I don't know that that'll ever happen for me, but we'll see. All right.
We shall.
Should we get into the main course for today?
Yeah, I am quite hungry, actually. I didn't have breakfast.
All right. It's beta season.
It is. Beta.
So,
it's beta
it's
season.
beta season. No, it's not. Anyway, so what betas are you running right now?
I have the iOS 16 beta on my phone and the iPadOS 16 beta on my iPad Pro.
Mm-hmm. So I am running the iOS beta on my phone, as you are. What phone do you have? I've got the 13 Pro Max.
I just have the 13 Pro.
The 13 Pro. Okay, so basically the same device. And then I've got iPadOS running on my Mac Mini. So, which by the way, I love this thing more and more. The more and more I use it, it's become a little portable TV for me now too. So
it's a great little machine.
I think I mentioned last time I've been watching through Star Wars: The Clone Wars, and the other day I didn't have a lot of time to like sit down and watch something, but I knew if I wanted to watch it, I didn't want to watch half an episode. So I literally set this up in the kitchen with the episode running and AirPods in my ear, and just I made my dinner. I went and I took it with me over to the table, sat down at the table, was watching. I had to get up and put together my lunch for work, and I set it over on the counter and sat and basically watched while it was just really cool. So I thought that was cool. And I've been using it on my breaks at work for watching through, just get a quick half-hour episode of the Clone Wars in while I'm eating my dinner, and it's really nice. I like it a lot. But anyway, so there isn't really much for me to say about the iPad OS, because most of what is on the iPad OS that I have access to with my Mac or my iPad Mini is the same things that we would talk about on iOS, because I don't think that I have any unusual features. At least not yet. I know that they have the one that one whiteboarding app that they're coming out with. Was it Freeform? Is what it's called? But that's not available yet that I know of. So,
yeah, and I'm pretty sure they said that was going to be available in a future release. I don't know if that was going to come out right when iOS 16. I can't remember.
Yeah, and I think that they're going to be doing that with a lot of the features that they're going to be rolling them out. Like they're rolling out the main set of features right now, but I think that they've actually kind of telegraphed that some of the stuff isn't coming right away. Like live activities isn't coming right away, and a couple other things like that. So, but that just means we get more than one Christmas this year. So, as they roll out features. So
sorry.
So I think, what's your favorite new feature on iOS?
On iOS?
Mm-hmm.
I think I like when music or podcast is playing, the like notify the, what do they call them? The
little just or now playing widget or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
on the
but
live screen.
it's part of that new class of widgets.
Well, it's kind of like the live activities, but
yeah. But so it's right now it's just for audio, right? So when I'm listening to a podcast or music, it's right there at the bottom. You know, you can tap the artwork to fill the screen.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to, you can tap the artwork again. It goes back down into the thing. You can control all of it right there. And it's just nice. And I'm excited for that because of the potential for third-party developers to use that same sort of style of widget, which is great because it updates, it's live, it's interactive, but it's like you can see like if you're having food delivered or whatever where it is, and this, that, and the other thing. So I just like it, and I like that it's at the bottom where my thumb is.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. It's just so much better.
Yeah. And I would have to say that that's a part of a greater whole of what I'm really appreciating about the new device. As far as the notifications, you realize you have 3 different views that you can have your notifications in now.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your list view, which is like the old, style of just a list that covers the whole screen. You've got your compact view. I'm not sure that's what they call it, but it's like you just get like a rolling list at the very bottom of the screen. Or you can hide them all together and you just get a count at the bottom. And that is what I have selected right now.
What?
Yeah, I have that selected right now so that on my home screen, I don't see notifications at the bottom. I just see some text at the bottom that'll say like 3 notifications. And so when I tap that, then the notifications will pop up and I can look through them. So, because I think with this new home screen feature, this is by far my favorite feature overall that they've done, because I've built several different lock screens. So with the moon lock screen, I set that up for my sleep. And because it's nice and black in the background and it shows the moon, it just feels appropriate that's set up for my sleep focus. So the only downside that I have is that when the sleep focus kicks in, it blurs your home screen. I don't know if you use this use the sleep. And so you never really see the moon in the center, but when you swipe up, then the moon rolls down to the bottom of the screen and then it's clear. So I have no idea if that moon actually shows me any valuable information as far as like if it's in the like if it's a full moon or a new moon or whatever, that it shows
or
that
a
state.
waxing gibbous.
Yeah.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah. but I set that up for my sleep focus, and then I've actually fought the idea, nothing against my wife, but I fought the idea of using pictures on the home screen for a long time. Like I normally, because it would become your wallpaper. I never liked having a different picture for my lock screen and my home screen. So I would always pick like some kind of abstract or some kind of landscape or something that didn't detract a lot from the home screen. But with this, I've gotten into this new groove of I can have a picture of my wife on the home screen that obscures the time a little bit so that it's almost a little artistic. And then when you flip to when you open up the phone to the home screen, then I'm using like a gradient in on the home screen. So I get my I get both of what I want, is that I get a nice looking home screen that I can enjoy, and I get a nice gradient, very clean looking screen so that my icons are the main course. They're not just lost in the background. So, and then for I set up a travel focus. So I have the globe one for that, because if you notice on the globe one, it actually shows your location on the globe on the lock screen. So there's just a little green dot where you are on the globe. And it centers on you.
Illinois.
Yeah. And then I've got one set up for work that is vaguely work themed. So it's just a gray gradient with a font that reminds me of the place that I work, and the color that is reminiscent of the place I work. And then I have like the stock price and stuff like that is I don't know if you can see that, but I have like the stock price and some other information on there. So those, and of course that's set up with my work focus. But then I've got a couple of home screens that are just pictures of my wife that I took. Actually, they both are pictures that I took when we went to Devil's Lake a couple of years ago. So she's really bitter about that one because she lost that hat. she wants that hat back. But and then I have another picture here that I took while we were there. That is a shot of her up on one of the cliffs overlooking the. Let me see if I can. I know that when I went to it here a minute ago that I didn't keep it up there, but it's just a shot of her looking out over the cliffs over the Devil's Lake. So it was a really neat picture that I took, and I have the weather kind of embedded in the hill behind the lake. So it turned out really cool. I like that. So, but anyway, like I've really enjoyed messing around with some of the features and stuff like that. Is that a weird picture of your daughter?
Yeah, it's a Snapchat filter that gives her like big teeth with braces and giant glasses.
Right on.
It just makes me laugh.
That doesn't look like her hair color either.
Oh, it's a little darker. Yeah, it's like a filter or whatever. But
okay.
Yeah, this one is my favorite though. It's the time is like sinking into the ocean.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
With the cliff there.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
I just love how with these lock screens we're able to have multiple, right, and tie them to focus things, but like we can all like tweak them not exactly how, because there's limited colors, limited fonts, but like compared to what we used to have, like it's just fun because now our phone is even more representative of who we are and what we like and what we're into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we can all just tweak, and everyone's home screen can just be slightly different and slightly more their own. And that's just, it's just fun and it's good and I like it.
And I think in my opinion, it makes it almost feel like a new phone in a lot of ways, because you can do so much with it now, where before it's like I had the option of a picture. And then because of my issues with, just not wanting to have a different picture on my home screen and lock screen, I would basically have to adjust whatever picture that I wanted to put on the screen to make sure that it was not offensive when there was icons sitting on top of it, or not too busy. Which I didn't want a busy picture. Some people like their busy pictures, and I don't get it. But we won't talk about my curly, but I don't. I want it nice and clean because when I swipe up on this picture of my wife, it goes to a nice dark gradient. And
holy widgets, Batman!
Hey, I like my widgets. Leave me alone. So
it's like you swipe up and it's like weather.
Yeah, but
like half the screen.
Yeah, but that's important to me.
I know.
So,
I know, but it's just funny because I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
I mean, I should have, but
yeah. Well, you've seen it before. I've shown it to you before. But yeah, so I'm really excited about the lock screen features. Just the amount, and there's even more customization as you dig deeper in. So like that picture of my wife is not black and white, but
it's one of the options. Yeah.
But it's a great picture that I took of her. I was able to zoom in on it a little bit. And then I went to a black and white with a high key. So it's really white in the background with her in the foreground. And I could do a low key for the background, but that almost makes the background black. And that really didn't serve the picture the way I wanted it. So as I was messing around with it, it's like that's perfect. Well, now I can go in and mess with the gradient that's on the main screen too, because it gives me all kinds of options as to colors and different things that I could do with the gradient. So the gradient background, by the way, has a ton of customization for like where the gradient's coming from. Like if you want something that's a little bit more like a radial gradient versus a top to the bottom gradient, and they name them all goofy things, but which it's Apple, but
Lotus Essence,
right? But I think the one that I'm using right now with my work focus is what they call a deep gradient, which is essentially a radial gradient. It's light in the middle and gets darker towards the edges. Almost vignette style, but not quite. But it's something that I really like it. So
I haven't messed with the gradient one yet.
Well, I liked it, but the problem was the limitations that I had, just my own personal limitations. And then there was one that I was using. There was one filter on that I was using that if I wanted an orange background, I had to put up with there being green at the top. Why was there green at the top? That doesn't make any sense. And hopefully it's a bug and they're going to fix it. But it would be like greenish towards the top of the screen and then gradient down to orange. But there was nothing in there that I could find that would let me change that. So I just didn't use that gradient.
So looking at the different types of, wallpapers, suggested photos, my ex-wife. She's in there 3 times.
Oh boy.
Thanks, Apple. Thanks.
Rub salt in that wound.
It's all good.
But the one that I thought was kind of interesting, but I don't know why I would use it, is the emoji background. Have you looked at that one yet?
No, but I'm about to. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
So, I mean, there's some tasteful backgrounds that I've seen them make out of those. Like right now I'm looking at like this one that's like this baby blue with jets and clouds and stuff like that. I mean, that's not terrible.
I can't see it.
You can't see that at all.
Bright white.
Here, let me send you a screen capture of that. But that's not terrible. You used the puking emoji effectively there.
Yeah, so I've got the 2 clashing beers next to the puke emoji. That's
All right, let me send you a picture of that. The one that I thought is actually kind of tasteful, but
And you can make them giants too.
oh yeah, that's nice. No, I was using the woozy face one and one that I was making the other day because, of course, that's my favorite. So why wouldn't I? But let me send you this image here. All right, it's incoming. But but yeah, so that's like the most fun I think you can have on this on the new update is messing around with the lock screen.
Is that going to be for your travel, your vacation?
Oh no, I didn't save that. That was one of the suggested ones that was on there. So perhaps you can make what looks like wallpaper, like physical, like put it on your wall wallpaper, but put emojis like in a pattern on it. So
Fun wallpapers. I like it.
mm-hmm. There's so many other features that they put in there that just are not that fun to talk about. You know, I mean, they did some cool stuff with mail and stuff like that. I think once we get to the point where everybody's got the new update in the fall, the ability to delete your messages or unsend your messages, be able to edit your messages, stuff like that. But I tried that with my wife not being on iOS 16 yet, and it just says, "Oh, Mitch edited this," or I went and deleted one, and it's still on her phone. It's not on mine. So
I bet there's a couple politicians that wish this feature was out. I don't know, say a year and a half ago.
Yeah. But it's, you know, those kind of features will be nice once everybody's got it. But have you messed with the feature where you can basically copy partial parts of an image?
Oh yeah, like you can just drag your dog out of an image. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
My wife finds it creepy.
Well, so there's a guy named Matthew Casanelli who's huge shortcut guy. I think I mentioned him a while back. He just released to people that have membership on his website. He released a whole new batch of like 75 shortcuts that take advantage of all the new iOS 16. Yeah. And so now I have a shortcut that just removes the background from any image I want.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fun. Just push a button. Boop. So I just have one of my daughter just like this, but like no back. So I can drop it anywhere I want.
That would be fun with the image that you shared with us a few weeks ago with her running away from the dinosaur. Yeah. Pick her right up out of that picture. But it'll be nice
like some like old school, like original Godzilla, you know, from like the 100 years ago or whatever.
I think it would be fun if they made those able to be used as stickers, because just be able to pick them up and drag them over and put them on top of a message or something like that, just to have fun with that. But that's a pretty limited feature, and I don't know how many people actually use that. But
yeah, stickers were like super cool for like 3 months, and then I don't know, man.
I occasionally put my Memoji on use those as stickers, but I don't do it terribly often, but once in a while I have fun with that.
I just put my Memoji sticker on your airplane wallpaper.
All right. Excellent.
Honestly, I can't remember the last time I put a sticker on anything.
Oh, yeah, look at
I'm more of a GIF man myself.
Yeah, GIFs are fun.
That is my most used app in the messages app. Is the GIFs.
I just sent that back to you with my emoji on it. I love that emoji because it's so ridiculous.
Oh, heart hands. You're
I
the
hate the
worst.
hard hands thing, but I use that so ironically. I send that to my wife every once in a while because she feels the same way about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible. It is going to lead to the destruction of our nation.
Yeah, that's gonna be what it is. Not anything else. That's
No,
gonna be the downfall.
well, that was the catalyst of it. I think everything's gone downhill because of hard hands. I need to come up with a how that all links together and share that on the program sometime. The hard hands led to this, and then this led to this, and this led to this, and then that's how Trump got in office, and then
Oh
anyway.
my gosh. I will not be here for that episode. Because then we're going to start thinking inner dialogue. That sounds like a conspiracy show. And then like all we talk about is conspiracy theories. And nope, I'm good.
Yeah, so that week will be a monologue, not a
The
dialogue.
earth is indeed round, people.
This is true. No, it would all be for fun.
Honestly, though, it would be, and I'm sure it already exists, but like a podcast about conspiracy theories that just mocks them.
Yeah,
that would be entertaining to me.
Sure. Yeah, tongue in cheek.
Yes.
Did you hear about the new one?
I had a guy. He was this was back when I lived in Kansas. Just really quick. Sorry.
Oh no.
And we were about to get ready to record my other show, and we were recording at his house, and he had some people come over, and they were working on some plumbing or something, and we had our setup, and we just about to sit down, and they were just leaving, and the guy was like, "Oh, you guys do podcasts? You should listen to this," and then quickly became aware that he was very much a conspiracy theorist. And he's like, "Well, hey, did you know that the second plane never even hit the towers?" And I was like, "Oh, really? Then
where did it
what
go?
What did I see when I watched it fly into the second building live on television?"
Yeah.
He was like, they reshowed I was like, you believe this thing so firmly, and I just say that I saw it on television, and your whole argument just crumbles. Like, I watched it fly into the building in my French class in high school. But no, it never happened, man. It's all just Photoshop.
Yeah, man.
Anyways, sorry. I hadn't I hadn't thought about that in years. I mean, it was probably like 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
When we had first started the show back then. But man, it's like now I'm gonna spend like all day Wikipediaing different conspiracy theories.
And now on the show, our new feature.
Yeah, our new section. Cam loses his mind about a conspiracy theory.
My first thought was that's our WTF portion of the show. That would be totally inappropriate for our show, though.
Oh my gosh! But the Loch Ness Monster is real,
but hilarious. I'm just taking a look because I'm sure we're forgetting some things, but they did update Focus to be easier to set up. So, like when the Focus feature was offered last year, you had to go in and you had to like basically whitelist all of the people you wanted to be able to get through to you, and apps you wanted to get through, which became really difficult to do because if you wanted everybody, you had to add everybody. So now they've got it where you can say include or exclude these people. So that makes it, I think, a lot easier to set up your focus modes. So that way you can say, hey, I really don't want notifications from this particular app when I'm at work, or I don't want these things to get through, as opposed to the other way where it's like, okay, these are the people I want to hear from when I'm at work. So I think that works out really nice. I think when I set up my travel one, I basically could go through and say, oh, all these people that I work with, these people I don't want to hear from when I'm on a vacation. So that's in my travel focus. So
yeah, it's a big quality of life improvement because it was a pain in the butt.
Mm-hmm.
previously.
Focus filters, the ability to add, like in email and I think text messages and stuff like that in messages. You can set up a focus filter that only, like, if you're at work, you don't even see any of the people you don't want to hear from. And specifically in your email, I know that's where they talked about it the most. So that's a nice feature for some people, especially if they're using their phone for work, like actual work email, where I just have my phone at work.
Mm-hmm.
But like for my store manager, if he sets something like this up, which he has two separate phones, so whatever. But this would allow him to have two separate phones in a single device, where he could go into his email and only see his personal email when he's not at work. So, which I'm sure his boss would hate. But iCloud shared photo library. I can't really do much with this right now until my wife upgrades to iOS 16. But we can kind of talk about that later this year when that does become a thing. Because there's quite a bit of stuff listed in here, little features and how to customize what photos get shared and stuff like that. And then, of course, we talked about the messages changes, about being able to edit your messages after you sent them, be able to mark them unread if you haven't, if you've read them and you want to save them to look at in a little bit and answer. Which I don't. That feature doesn't make any sense to me, but there's some people that are pretty excited about that. Hey, and again, to undo send is another big deal.
There's a time limit on that, though, right?
I think so, and I think it's like seconds, not minutes. So, yeah. So if you screw up, notice it right away.
You better.
Something that I think is really cool, but at the same time, I don't know that I'm going to get a whole lot of use out of, is the share play with via messages. I'm sure we talked a little bit about that when we talked about the event, but I think that I could see if, maybe my wife and I was on vacation. This vacation I'm taking in September is actually, she's not coming with us, for reasons I can explain later. But for us to be able to sit down and say, hey, let's watch that new show that we usually sit down and watch, and then we could just sit and chat instead of, necessarily being on a FaceTime call. I don't think my wife would ever go for doing something like that anyway, but I'm just kind of curious to see how that would work. So I'm interested in checking out a lot of the collaborative features once we all get on all the new operating systems and see how that's been enhanced. Mail has been improved with a lot of the same things that we talked about in messages, the able to do undo send. That's, I think, where these really, really tight timelines are built in. I think it's like 15 seconds you have to undo the send for text or for a message like that. The scheduled send. So I know John Voorhees talked about that on is it App Stories, where he said, there's stuff that he doesn't want to deal with over the weekend, but if he sends the email on a Friday, he's going to be hearing about it all weekend. So instead of sending it on Friday, she just schedules it to send out on Monday morning on Friday, and then he doesn't hear about it all weekend, and he'll get those emails back on Monday when that email goes out. So the ability to add rich links, the follow-up reminders, which I think is a good thing. Something I am cautiously excited about is passkeys.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see, or I shouldn't say excited. I'm interested and intrigued to see how this all sort of takes shape in the coming years.
Yeah, because I would love to not have to type in passwords anymore. That feature, by the way, where they lift the dog out of the picture to like copy it and put it somewhere else is under what they call intelligence. So, yeah, on this page I'm just looking at the iOS 16 preview on apple.com. The live text for video. Yeah, being able to copy and paste stuff out of video, which I have not tried. So I can't say that it's in there yet, but we can. I don't know if you want to give that a try, or if we can, or maybe that's coming later. I should probably just put this in show notes. Done. Live text quick actions. You can get shortcuts with zero setup. And
What?
have you tried the new dictation features?
No, I haven't.
Oh, this is just if the developers can set up shortcuts ahead of time, so that once you install the app, you can just add the shortcuts instead of having to configure them.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. No, I haven't had. I've used dictation since I put the beta on my phone, but I haven't tried like typing out while I'm dictating. And I haven't seen the auto punctuation come in either. Or say it with an emoji. I need to try that sometime. Woozy face. Dude, I'm totally doing that right now. But there's some cool map updates, which I haven't tried yet to see if any of those are in here yet. Woozy face. Woozy face emoji. Who is the face emoji is what I get. Never mind. I'm not even messing with that anymore. But maps, the whole add multiple stops thing, like this is way overdue, because we could do this in ways, gosh, years ago.
I'm sorry. Did you see me just freak out there for a second?
You went like Stevie Wonder on me there for a second.
No, I heard a creak and I looked up and my pastor was just right outside my office. Scared me half to death.
No, he sits back and like his head goes side to side, and I'm just like, what? He just went Stevie Wonder on me there.
No, well, there's a staircase right here.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Whew. You got me so good.
Collect yourself. Oh, that was thoroughly entertaining. That's the only that right there would be reason to do video this podcast.
Holy cow. All right, I'm good. Sorry.
All right. Some enhancements to Apple Pay and Wallet. I'm sure none of these are really available yet. They're because I haven't seen anything as far as like the pay later option, or the order tracking yet. Being able to share keys. The home enhancements. Have you been in the home app recently?
Yeah, but all I can say is that having your iPhone on the beta and your HomePod Mini not causes issues.
Okay.
It's very frustrating. But yeah, the new home app is nicer than it was, but I'm not like blown away by it. I'm still just bitter it's not on the TV. But we've had that chat multiple times, so we don't have to do it again today.
Yeah. I mean, I had a light that actually stopped responding, and maybe that was around the time that I upgraded the beta, or maybe it was just a little bit before that. But
yeah, I have a lamp in my daughter's room on a smart switch,
Uh-huh.
and it's just unresponsive.
Yeah, I'm getting that with, I've got a Bilkin, the Wemo Switch. I don't know if you and I have the same Switch, but
I don't know I forget which mine is.
which is weird because I have two of those in the house and one of them's working and the other one's not. So I tell
It's
you,
the
man,
beta life.
sure is. Let's see. The fitness app is now on the iPhone, so now I can track your movements on the iPhone. That means nothing to me because I've got an Apple Watch, so
yeah, but it gives it to everyone who doesn't. That's the caveat, right? Before you had to have an Apple Watch to get the fitness app. Now everyone gets it.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff with the beta that, like, there's just nothing to talk about. What is this? Oh, I need to share remind me, I need to share a quick tip for people. I discovered something on my iPad mini that I'm using that really works actually exceptionally well, or a lot better than I thought it was going to.
I just had an inappropriate joke that I didn't share. I filtered Mitch.
Very nice.
I'm
I appreciate
proud of
it.
myself.
Must have really been bad.
No, not really bad, but just not appropriate.
Oh, I've opened up the weather app on my iPad once. True story.
Yeah, and did Carrot yell at you for doing that?
No,
Next time you open the Carrot app?
I just realized, oh, that's right. That's why I don't use this. Back to Carrot.
Mm-hmm.
No, I just love that Carrot app so much.
It's good.
I'm a maps guy. I love radar maps and being able to pull up a lot of information so that I can be in the know. And over the years, I have learned enough about how to look at those radar maps to be able to discern some things. And when I saw that they added the base velocity map, which shows you wind direction, intensity and direction. So it's a good way of seeing like where there are hooks on the radar for tornadoes. You can now do that in Carrot Weather. It's weird. You have to go in, when you go into the map, you have to tap on the weather stations icon to pull up the weather stations around you. And then you tap on the split screen, and in the bottom pane, it shows you the base velocity map. And so you have to know how to read that, because it looks weird at first until you understand what's going on. Because the wind velocity is visually, it shows like greens and reds to give you an idea of, like, which direction the wind is going, but it's based on the direction that the wind is hitting or leaving the base station, that the weather station that you're drawing from. So on one side of the weather station shows green and the other side it shows red. And so if it's the wind's coming towards the station, it's in green, and if it's going away from the station, it's in red. So when you look at that map, you usually see a defined line where it goes from green to red if all the air is moving in the same direction. But what you're looking for is green in the red or red in the green for where there's rotation. And so it's a really cool, interesting thing to be able to look at, on your phone, because that's not something that was always available. So, have you tried the watch beta yet?
No,
I have not installed it, and right now I'm looking at the at what reasons I would have to install it, and maybe the new watch faces, because I like cute little legs on my numbers.
Dude, it's
that's a joke, and
I
it's
just
not
looked
true.
outside and
Hmm.
it looks like it's like 9 p.m. outside. It's so dark.
Yeah, you got some weather coming through.
Oh yeah. I was awoken at 6:21 a.m. by Carrot Weather's like critical weather warning.
Yeah.
Oh, it. So this was not the first time I was absolutely terrified. That happened when I woke up from a dead sleep to a siren going off on my phone and my iPad. And
Yep,
then the severe
that would do
thunderstorm
it.
came at like 7 and woke me
Hmm.
up again.
No, that would do it. Oh, this is something they didn't talk about on for the WatchOS 9. They didn't talk about this, but in the modular, compact, modular, and extra large faces, you can now change the color of the background. As where right now, where it's always black,
Mm-hmm.
you can now change the color of the background as well.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool. It says background colors from aqua to zinc. Now you can
Nice.
customize your watch face with a wide range of colors and gradients to match your mood. Available in modular, compact, modular, and extra large faces. It says
I have an
X.
extra large face.
It says X large, so I'm not sure if that's supposed to be 10 large or X large.
So, yeah.
That's that's a bad Apple joke. Nothing else that I can see though. Watch faces. That's the only thing that I would be excited about. Oh, sleep tracking. They've got that more granular, like sleep stages, but that's about it. So I think I'm probably going to wait on those watch faces because it scares the crap out of me to put a beta on my watch. All right. Well, has anything gone wrong for you?
Yeah. The thing that I have the most trouble with
Mm-hmm.
is the music app.
Okay. I have had some crashiness with the music app, and because I have Soar downloaded, SOOR downloaded on my phone, I just popped over to that and used that instead whenever it's being crashy. But I concur. I've had some crashiness with
Well, mine's never
music app.
crashed. It's just like becomes unresponsive for like 3 or 4 seconds. And then like all of a sudden it's like, okay, back again. And I have this thing, and I don't know if it's my car or the music app, but like when I connect via Bluetooth, doesn't matter if I already have a song playing or like I'm halfway through a song and it's paused. When I connect it to my car, it just automatically plays the first alphabetical song in my library, which is a song called A by Cartel. And I've heard the first 10 seconds of that song a million times. But now that I have the beta on, it doesn't just always play that song. It'll play like song the next one, which is by M83. It's like Ah Lumiere or whatever. So I don't know what is causing that. But then especially now when I connect via Bluetooth, it does that and then it's unresponsive for like 4 or 5 seconds. So I can't even hit pause. I have to wait and then I can pause and then go and find what I was listening to before. And it's just really, really annoying.
I've had similar issues in other apps, where they just suddenly they become completely unresponsive. I was looking up to see what there's a Project 86 interlude on one of their albums called a ... or an ellipsis, a word from our sponsors. And that's the first song. That's the song. That's what always pops up if it starts my songs alphabetically.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's my car or the music app, but like why does it just stop doing what it was doing? And then when it connects, it just starts auto playing my songs alphabetically. It's very frustrating.
Yeah. No, that happened. That's happened to me randomly. I think it's when the the car, and that I use CarPlay, of course, but it doesn't always connect with CarPlay immediately. Sometimes it connects in through the um, regular audio system of the car, so it's probably similar in what we're talking about. But I've had that happen even before the betas, where it just, hey, I don't know what to play right now, so let's just play your songs off alphabetically. So, I have one really annoying bug, and it's in Logos, that if I go in the last highlighter that I used, it's stuck on that highlighter and it won't change. And the context menu that pops up to give me the option to change the highlighter, number one, is white with white letters on top of it. And number two, any of the stuff that's in there that is like a highlighter color, or the link to get to all the highlighter colors so that I can select one, doesn't work. So if I click on something, it's like, I don't know what to do. Or if I click where I want to click to get to what I want, actually goes over to note, I can add a note. And when I click on that, then it pulls up the note interface, and it's like, so the highlighters right now are almost unusable on the iPad app. I haven't tried it on the phone, but yeah, it's pretty bad.
That would be annoying.
So that's the only, I can't say that I've had really much in the way of springboard crashes. Normally that's the big thing with betas. And I might have had one, but it hasn't been bad.
Yeah. The only thing that on the iPad from beta 1 and 2, Stage Manager would crash, especially when I had like an external display connected to it. But I haven't had it crash once in beta 3. So that's looks like progress is being made there, which is good.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I don't have a whole lot more for that. So if you're ready, we can move on to what's delighting us today.
Why don't you go first? I always go first.
Hold on, I got to do this first. All right. So I always have you go first because I usually ask you to lead into that segment. So that's why it always ends up being you.
Great. Well, Mitch, what's delighting you?
Oh, what's delighting me today? Like I said, we're going out to South Dakota in September. I'm going with my family, with my mom and dad and my sister. And I thought this is one of those vacations because I'm not sure that I'm going to get another vacation like this with my family before my parents can't do it anymore. And it's not, I mean, my dad's got Parkinson's, but it's not like I think they're going to go anytime soon. But we just don't do this often. So going on this vacation, I thought, man, I got to chronicle this. I want to take lots of pictures, and I'm really excited about just getting tons of pictures. My mom suggested writing a journal, like putting journal entries in with pictures and stuff like that. And then of course my mind starts going to, oh, well, we could put together a photo book. And that would be kind of a cool thing to give them for Christmas, as a photo book of the vacation and journal entries and just different things like that. I think it would be a lot of fun. But what I purchased for this trip, and I did this not just for this trip, but because I've always wanted a DSLR camera, but they're prohibitively expensive for me. And so I found this little gadget that helps my phone become a DSLR camera in some ways. Although I have opinions about the lenses, but it is the Swift Cam. It's basically a grip to put your phone into. So you got this grip, and then you slide your phone into the device, get it lined up nice, and now you have a nice grip with a little strap on the hand. And so now I can carry this along with me, and I don't have to worry about dropping it. That's always my fear with using my phone as a camera, is it's not exactly ergonomical to sit and hold your phone to take pictures, and then like not drop it in the river or something like that as you're taking the pictures. So always drives me crazy because you got to sit and hold it by the edges. This is nice, secure, and it's a great little piece of now if that was it, I probably wouldn't have bought it for the price that I bought it for, but if it was maybe a little bit cheaper, I might have bought it just for that. But it does connect with Bluetooth. It has a trigger. It has a shutter button on the handle where it should be. It also has a Qi charger with a backup battery built into it. So it lengthens the life of the battery throughout the day, so you can take lots of pictures. This bit me when we were down at Galaxy's Edge in Florida, because I was taking pictures and video all day, and I got to about 3:00 in the afternoon, and I get hey, you should probably go into low power mode because you've used up all your battery. So I had to scramble and go find. So I had to find the one shop in the park that had a backup battery that I could buy to recharge my phone. Now, of course, it was way overpriced, and it was like, it's really set up to be like a one-time use battery backup, which I have been able to recharge it since then, so it has been useful. But this will keep the battery charged. It's supposed to have, it's a 6,000 milliamp hour battery that's in here, so it's supposed to like legit have like 3 times the battery power for probably like your phone with the 13 Pro. I probably won't get 3 full charges out of it for the Max. But even if it just allows it to last much longer, because I'm taking video and pictures and all that kind of stuff throughout the day, it'll be worth it. Now, it also allows you to take pictures in portrait and video in portrait in case you care to do such a thing. So it does work really nice for that. But one other feature that they talk about is that you can actually use this as a stand, like a desktop stand, and put it in landscape or portrait, which I have a class that I'm going to have to attend via Zoom while we're on this vacation. So I can imagine setting it up on my desk, or setting up a desk in the hotel room with the phone in landscape and attending the class through the phone. And so it gives me that portability. And you can plug this in with USB-C, and it will charge the batteries and charge the phone. So it actually becomes kind of a phone charger as well, with all those features. It has a attachment at the top for a cold shoe, and it comes with a cold shoe. On the bottom, It has another quarter inch threaded
20,
slot,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can put that on a tripod. Words are not coming to me today. I apologize.
It's all good. What's the name of this thing?
Shift Cam. This is the Shift Cam Pro Grip. So I will pull it up. Are you looking it up online?
Yeah, I just wanted to see what it was like.
They have a new one on Kickstarter right now that I did not invest in. It's a little cheaper, but I did not invest in it because I probably wouldn't have it for my vacation. If everything holds true, that it seems like everything you buy on Kickstarter takes you a year to get.
Oh, they've got lenses too.
They have lenses too, which was another thing I was going to mention.
Yeah. I wonder if they're any good.
Because
Moment is like the phone lens kings right now.
Mm-hmm. The one thing that I like, see, here's my problem with lenses for these is that I'm not sure how much quality that adds to the camera
Mm-hmm.
because like the ones that I would want to get, like the telephoto lens. By the way, if you're on the website and you see the snap grip at the top, that one I think is really cool for normal people, that aren't necessarily, and this is the reason why. It actually attaches using MagSafe on the back of the phone. So you don't have yeah, I think you might still be able to get the cold shoe and stuff for that, but it's really not designed for like somebody who wants to do pro photography. It's more
Mm-hmm.
designed as a grip for somebody who just wants to run around and take pictures and just wants a more comfortable grip. The Pro Grip will work with any phone as long as as long as it's not bigger than say the height of the, or I should say the width of the Pro Max, which most phones aren't wider than that. And it also does come with inserts that if your phone is much smaller than that, the inserts will go into it just slides into like a tensioned grip. Um, and there are inserts for like if you have a like an iPhone 13 mini that's so much smaller, it'll still work with this because they do have those little inserts that you can put into the camera grip for the Pro Grip. So what I do like about the lenses that they did was they have a case that you can buy. So first off, all your lenses come with a little clip, so you can clip it over the cameras, which I think is a terrible idea. Especially because the clip that they have has a little screw that you screw in to tighten it, and that tightens down on the glass of your screen, which I just don't like that. That makes me just feel like you're going to break your screen with it. But what they do also offer is their own cases, and the cases all come with an insert that allows you to screw the camera lenses directly into the case, into that insert. They have those inserts available for all of the iPhones except the 13. And then they have a case with the inserts specifically designed for the 13. And I questioned that at first until I looked at the back of my phone with the case on it and realized because the sizes of the lenses on these cameras, they push all the way to the edge of the case, so there's no room for the insert to pop up out of that. So I figured that's probably the reason that they only offer the case with the insert instead of just the inserts that you can use with any case. So, but the one thing that I did question, because I would want like the telephoto lens, and I think that there was one that they just refer to as the wide lens, which is for photography, or the wide angle lens. It's an 18 millimeter wide angle lens, which quite honestly don't know what
That's
that
wide.
means, but
18's real wide.
yeah. And then they have a 75 millimeter long range macro, which I think is interesting. I like the macro idea. 60 millimeter telephoto,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no adjustments on these lenses. So
No, they're primes. Yeah, they're all primes.
yeah, so the lens you're just screwing on the camera, or on the camera of your phone, and then if you screw this onto the telephoto lens, then you can kind of zoom in and zoom out, and it takes you from, I think, going up to a 3 times optical zoom to up to a 5 times optical zoom, which is not anything to shake a stick at, but it works. But to me, what's the return that you're getting on buying $100 lens? 2 more times optical zoom. Like it doesn't feel to me like it's worth that much. If you were to bundle a lot of this stuff, they do have a fisheye lens, they do have a regular macro lens, and then the long range macro lens, which I think the long range macro lens looks kind of cool too. If you're taking a lot of video with it, the anamorphic lens looks interesting as well. And then you can bundle any of these lenses together for a discount. It's 20% discount to buy them bundled.
Mm.
But at this point, it's an expense that I just am really not interested in doing.
Yeah.
If I
Well, I mean,
did,
the cameras on the 13 Pro are, as far as phone cameras go, really, 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 really good.
yeah,
You know?
they're fine for what I will be using them for. And if I ever see a need for this in the future, I will likely buy the case with the insert and get the lenses, to screw directly into the case. I really hate the idea of this stupid little clamp on thing that you got to screw into the glass of the front of the camera. I'm sure it's padded, but still, it just. Ugh. But
Well, that's neat.
yeah, I think this is a cool little ecosystem of lenses and camera grips and stuff like that they offer. The one that's up on, like we said, the one that's up on Kickstarter right now, the Snap Grip, that's worth checking out. I will put this page in the show notes. So if you are listening to the show here and you're like, man, that sounds really cool, but I don't want to spend $150 on a system like this, check out the Kickstarter for the Snap Grip. It doesn't have quite so many features, but it has the features that make this worth getting. And if you've got an iPhone with MagSafe, all the better, because it'll just snap right onto the back of your phone, and away you go. They do have lights and stuff like this for the cold shoe as well on the website. But anyway, so that's what's delighting me right now, and I cannot wait to get out and use this for taking something other than pictures of my house, because I don't have a reason to go out and use it right now.
You're gonna turn into Austin Powers when he's taking photos. Yes, 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 no, no, yes. Make a series of investigation tunnels like the Viet Cong. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
no.
Just with you.
Okay.
In your Spiderman suit.
Well, this got weird. So I think the thing that's delighting me, well, there's two things. We'll start with the on trend for the I got a 35 millimeter 1.8 macro lens, like, I don't know, 7-8 months ago. And I used it one time for video in a pretty low light setting, and it was focus hunting a lot while in video. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe this lens really wasn't a great buy. And I kind of just ignored it for a while. But I recently, the last weekend, was doing a photo shoot for a family reunion / birthday party. With I have a 16 to 35, but it's only f4. So this has, more wide open aperture maximum, which is what gives you the shallow depth of field and the fancy blurry backgrounds and all that sort of stuff. And so I was shooting this family reunion with my 85 millimeter and with the 16 to 35. And I wasn't getting, there were still good pictures, but I just, I love me a blurry background. I just do. And I realized that's a style opinion. And so I pulled this lens back out of the bag and I was like 1.8. So I started taking pictures of it, of like my kid and my dog. I was like, oh my gosh, even just getting down to like f2.8 was like, this is, so I've had it and it's super tiny. It's not big.
Right.
I mean, my 16 to 35 is probably, twice as long. And it's got, image stabilization and autofocus, and it's it just makes this thing super lightweight and easy, and it takes great pictures. And so it's delighting me because I had written it off as, maybe not the greatest lens that I had because of me taking video in low light, which, it's not good for that, but it takes really good pictures. So that's one thing that's delighting me. And I'm going to use it tonight when I go shoot some hot air balloons with a camera, not with a gun, with a camera.
That's an important distinction.
Well, words, context, it's all important.
Yep.
And then the other thing is, so I've been really trying to get all of my notes, my lessons, my Bible study stuff, my online notes from online classes, like everything into Obsidian. I don't want anything in Dropbox or I want everything in Obsidian so that it's in one place. And then, if Obsidian, dies, well, then I have everything in a folder already. So great, I can move that folder somewhere else. And so part of that has been going through books that I've read that I've, underlined and highlighted and written in the margins and starting to get those notes out of the books and into Obsidian where they're way more useful. And so I started with Digital Minimalism by Cal Newport, which I read probably 2 years ago. I want to say, highly recommend it. And it's just been a delight to go back through and refresh my brain with a lot of what he's talking about in this book and see in my own history when I read this, I can remember what I did and then how slowly over time I drifted away from it and got to the point where all of the rules and everything that I had set up and decisions I had made all just over time I just given up on. Yeah, so highly recommend it. But just what's delighting me is being able to go back through a book that I read. Like I said, see how I've wavered from where I was. But then seeing that like the highlights that old me made 2 years ago still resonate with me today, which is kind of neat to think that, 2 years on, these ideas still like, oh yeah, that is a good idea, or that's a really good point that he made, or certain things like that. And so being able to go through the book, take those bits and pieces out, put them in Obsidian, and then being able to know that because I have all of my thoughts about all sorts of topics in one area, I will be able to, whether I'm preparing for a Bible study or teaching a lesson or just doing research on a topic, I don't have to go to 17 places. I can go to one place and I can pull references from books like this or online courses that I've taken and use them as illustrations in other places. And it's all right there. And it's all either search away or connected because of backlinks in Obsidian. So that concept of, some people call it like your second brain, right? Having everything in one place and easily accessible, and maneuverable and configurable in the ways they want to do it. It's just really, I don't know. It what's the word? Floats my boat.
Sure, we can go with that.
I mean, there's 75 different variations of it makes me happy, and I think it's cool.
Cool.
And also, it's a good book, so check it out.
So, it is also. I was going to add it to show notes for the show today, so I went to Amazon and found it on Amazon. The Kindle version of that book right now is available for $1.99. So
that's money well spent.
That was a quick purchase. But even better, if you are an Audible user, you don't necessarily have to be subscribed to Audible right now. But if you are an Audible user, you can pair the narration with it for $8.99. So for $11, you got this book in Kindle with the audio narration, and I don't see it on here whether or not it does yes, it does have the page flip enabled. So you can read your Kindle books the way I like to read my Kindle books, and that's reading along with the narration. So I don't know if you've done this before, but it's awesome. I really like doing that.
I feel like that would be distracting.
So it actually highlights the text as you're reading through the book.
Yeah.
And so you're getting it in audio and in front of you on paper or on the Kindle.
Yeah.
It does actually. The Kindles don't do this. You have to do it in the app on a device that does it. It's crazy.
Yeah. The Matter app does that with the articles that you save to it. The Read Later, you can, it has AI that reads it. And it's actually, you can tell it's AI, but like, it's not like, I challenge you not to devour this wonderful book.
Yeah.
It's more like, it's as close. It's as close to human speech as I've heard a robot.
Speechify does something very similar to this that I really like. You can take articles and dump it in. You can actually put the Speechify extension in Safari, and it will actually just pop up a little play button in the bottom corner screen. I know it works in iOS. I have not tried it on Mac OS, but it pops up a little play button down in the corner, and it'll basically read to you whatever the article is online that you're looking at, or whatever audio you're looking at online that you want read to you, right in the browser, which is incredible. They added that recently, and it's really good. That actually dovetails really nicely into the trick that I wanted to mention that I kind of teased earlier in the show.
Oh, yes.
So when I read my Kindle, this is the way I like to read. I like to read mine along with hearing the narration, but not all the books that you get on the Kindle have narration available for them. So what do? And so I can't say that I discovered this, but I realized that, hey, the iOS devices will read to you. So it's an accessibility feature. I'd have to look and see what it's called.
Text to speech.
Yeah,
it's text to speech.
It's like, it is text to speech, but that's broken out differently in accessibility. So let me take a look here. Vision, spoken content is what it's called. And if you go in there and select a speak screen, and then there is a gesture that I have mapped to this, and I'm not seeing how I did that. But you can also set up, what's this pronunciations thing? Oh, you can actually change pronunciations of words in here by training. Did you see my cat just walked across the soundboard?
Oh, no,
and hit those buttons. You go over here for now.
So does that mean that I can change it to say tomato instead of tomato?
Theoretically, yeah. I'm not sure, but I haven't tried it yet. But you can teach it different pronunciations. So, but anyway, so
man, you could really have fun on someone's phone with that.
Yeah, if you go into something that you want to read, want it to read to you, so that it would work in Obsidian, it would work in Safari, it would work in my Logos app, it would work in the Kindle. You take two fingers and you swipe down from the top. Make sure the fingers are swiping together, because I tried this where I had my fingers askew and it didn't work. But if you swipe down two fingers, it will pop up with a little player on the screen, and then you can start playing the screen. Now, the goofy thing with the Kindle, and this is one thing that I have had trouble with, is it wants to start, I think it looks for page numbers, and then it starts at the beginning of the page number, and that doesn't always line up with the page that you have visible. So you would have to swipe back a page to where it started, and then swipe to the page that I'm actually on, and it would update and start reading from that page. But it's been a really cool. It's not jarring to listen to, because they have smoothed out the text or the speech to text or text to speech engine so much in iOS and iPadOS that it actually is comfortable to listen to. It can be a little goofy at times because it doesn't know when to pause. Because it will go from a paragraph right into a heading, and then right into the next paragraph without a pause. And so it's kind of goofy that way, but it certainly beats it certainly works really nice for if you like to listen to the listen to something read to you as you're reading it. So I recommend giving that a try. I've got a bunch of books that I'm going to have to read with my biblical counseling training, and that's going to get me through a lot of that because I'm not good at keeping my attention on my reading otherwise, which is why I do this. So
you have just unknowingly solved a question that I've had for like a year and a half. There's a comedian that I saw on YouTube, Kellen Erskine, I think is his name. Hysterical dude. But to end his show, he had like his last like 7 jokes on his phone, and he held his phone up to the microphone and he did that 2-finger swipe. And I was like, what? How is he doing that?
Yeah.
And so it's like Siri just deadpan jokes. And it was hysterical because he's trying not to laugh because it's a robot making like very like deadpan dry humor. And so it was funny. But like as soon as you did the 2-finger swipe down, I was like, oh my gosh, that's how he did it. Yeah. So you have solved a conundrum of mine, and I am grateful.
Yeah. So no, it's a great little trick that you can do on iPhone and iPad that will solve some issues for some people, I think. So,
very cool.
You're not stuck having to just read it. You can listen to it too. So, well, we've had a marathon episode without realizing it. Yeah, I got 1 hour and 41 minutes right now.
Wow.
Good gravy. Hopefully well, I shouldn't say hopefully, but I bet you there's a lot to cut out. This is one of the weirdest episodes that we've ever recorded with just the interruptions and the goofiness. But all right, well, let's hang it up for today. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. But if you are itching to hear more of what we've talked about in the past, you can check out innerdialogue.show. Our whole back catalog is there. If you want to subscribe to us on some of your favorite podcast apps, you can search for us in the podcast app, but you can also click on the links on innerdialogue.show, and that will give you the ability to subscribe to us. And how you're listening to us without subscribing to us at this point is kind of a thing, but I figured other podcasts talk about it, so there you go. If you would like to know more about us, you can find me at mitchcraig.online.
And I'm at cambrennan.com.
Very good. So check us out there. And Cam, it's been good. It's been long, but it's been good today. So thank you, sir. And we'll see you back here next time.
Farewell, Mitchell. Have a lovely day.